Hi, in this video I'll help you get to know your car a little better. At the end of this video I've put together a straightforward infographic that summarizes all the key points. Like, subscribe and comment below. It really helps.
Okay, let's be real. Nothing makes your stomach drop quite like a warning light popping up on the dash, right? Your car's trying to tell you something, and honestly, it can be pretty stressful. But don't worry, understanding that message is the very first step to getting it fixed. And today, we're going to give you the knowledge you need to take back control. So you've gone through the trouble, you've plugged in a code scanner, and this is what it spits out. C055002. Just a jumble of letters and numbers, but what does it actually mean for your Chevy? Well, let's decode it. Let's figure out exactly what your car is trying to tell you. All right, first things first. We've got to decode what the car's computer is trying to say. See, every single one of these codes tells a story, and the story behind C055002, it points to a really specific and super important part of your car's safety system. So the official textbook definition for this code is a general signal failure. Now, what that really means is there's an internal malfunction with something called the Electronic Brake Control Module, or EBCM for short. Just think of the EBCM as the brain behind your car's anti-lock brakes and stability control. It's the thing that gets signals from your wheels and decides when to step in to keep you from skidding. Yeah, it's a pretty crucial piece of safety gear. Okay, so a general failure. What does that actually mean? I know, it sounds super vague, right? But believe it or not, that vagueness gives us a massive clue. It's telling us the problem probably isn't with one single sensor sending a bad signal. Instead, the issue is likely with the main brain, the module itself, or its ability to talk to the rest of the car. And that right there is the heart of the problem. What we're seeing is some kind of disruption, either in the power going to the EBCM or the signal coming from it. Your car's main computer is smart enough to know the signal is messed up, but it can't tell you why. That's where we come in. It's our job to play detective. So this brings us to the investigation. We've got 4 main suspects that could be causing this whole mess. Think of them as the usual suspects in our little automotive mystery. Okay, here's our lineup. First up, you've got faulty wiring or just a loose connection. You always want to check the simple stuff first. Next, we could be looking at physical damage, like corrosion on the EBCM itself. It happens, especially with where it's located, exposed to all the gunk from the road. Then there's the possibility that the EBCM unit is just, well, toast, an internal electronic fault. And finally, the problem might not even be the EBCM, but something else in the whole anti-lock brake system that talks to it. Each of these possibilities needs a totally different game plan. But here's the good news. For every single one of those potential problems, there is a specific, targeted fix. The whole key here is to not just start throwing parts at it. You got to diagnose the problem correctly first. So let's talk about the solutions. And this table here just lays it all out, plain and simple. You find bad wiring? Well, you repair or replace that wiring. You see corrosion or actual damage on the module? You're probably looking at replacing the EBCM. If your tests show the module itself is the problem, got to replace it. And if the fault's somewhere else in the ABS system, well, then you go fix that part of the system. See? It's all about matching the right solution to the actual problem you find. So to make this super practical for you, think of it like this 4-point checklist. Step 1, and always the first step, is to check all the wiring and the connectors going to that EBCM. Look for anything loose, frayed, or corroded. Step 2, give the module itself a good look over for any physical damage. If all that looks okay, then you move to step 3, actually testing the EBCM for internal faults. And if you still come up empty, that's when you go to step 4 and broaden your search to the rest of the ABS system. Okay, so we've broken down the code, we've looked at the causes, we've talked about the solutions. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing you really need to remember from all this? There's a line that sums this all up perfectly. It might sound kind of obvious, but trust me, this is the golden rule of fixing cars. Just replacing parts without knowing for sure what the problem is, man, that is a fast way to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. The real goal here is to be a detective first. Figure out the why before you even think about picking up a wrench. And that brings us to the big question, the one you've got to ask yourself. Now that you know what could be wrong and what the steps are to figure it out, you can make a smart decision based on your own experience, the tools you've got in your garage, and just your own comfort level. Is this something you want to tackle yourself? Or is it time to take all this knowledge and go have an intelligent conversation with a professional mechanic? Hey, there's no wrong answer here, but the important thing is now you're equipped to make the right choice for you and your car.